Hello, world. You're listening.
Listening. They are listening.
You're watching 80s music, Twitch Ranked. I'm Joel.
I'm Chris.
And today's artist,
Rick Springfield.
Rick Springfield. Nope, sorry. Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce, you almost said Bruce
Rick
Springfield.
Springfield. There's a Dusty Springfield.
Yeah. We say Rick Springfield because Rick Springfield has a song called Bruce that's complaining about people mistaking him for Bruce Springsteen.
And then Bruce Springsteen confused it later on when he made a song called Human Touch.
Oh yeah, Rick Springfield had Human Touch also.
So he did that. I think he did it on purpose. Anyways, it's Bruce Springsteen. We'll get that wrong several times throughout this video.
Yeah.
Probably. But he's an artist. I didn't have anything of his. You had.
I had Born in the USA. That's all I had. That was biggest selling album. And Born in the USA, the title song, which everybody hears on the radio, even now it's still played. But it's not the first single released. It's a third single released.
Right, first one,
Dancing in the Dark.
Dancing in the Dark, his biggest hit out of all of his songs.
Yeah.
That came in number 2.
Second one was Cover Me, which hardly ever gets played.
Yeah.
And I think it was only out for
that
a week.
that actually would be the one song of his I want to hear on the radio.
Yeah.
Because
I had the cassette, and so I listened to all the songs, but I had forgotten that My Hometown was a single. And what was the other one?
I just heard My Hometown on Sunday, this past Sunday.
I'm going down, yeah, I'm going down.
Because Casey Kasem plays his top 40 every once a week on Sundays before church, and so I heard my Hometown. And it had dropped down the charts the week you.
Yeah, and I also heard No Retreat, No Surrender one time on the radio.
Yeah.
It was never a single, and I didn't know that. But when I first heard it, I'm like, oh, one of his older hits. Forgetting that the reason I knew it was because I had the album.
You know what? It might have played on the radio. It's possible. I don't know. Or it had a video.
It didn't say it was released though.
No. But if you ever look at Wikipedia, sometimes there's other sections. It's like other promotional songs. That could have been one of them.
Now, before Born in the USA came out, I remember in school. It's probably elementary because Born in the USA was 1984, right?
Yes, we had a science teacher
who played one of his songs.
Favorite song. He told us was.
I wonder if we were in the same class when he played it. Or maybe
is it Whithurst? That's the guy's last.
But
name.
it was like a folk song talking about.
Really, he told me that Born to Run was his favorite album. I think.
But this song that he played was about workers at a factory, or something like that.
Right.
It wasn't Born in the USA, obviously, but.
Yeah, and Bruce Springsteen. It's amazing to know. I talked to a driver this week who said, man, that guy's really liberal. Knowing that he made songs specifically for working class people.
But he is a liberal. He's on the Democratic side. He was awarded the Medal of Freedom from Barack Obama.
I know.
He campaigned for Hillary Clinton, so obviously he went down since because of that.
Yes, and you can see not on this board, but on the next board, he's put, since 2000, he's put on probably just as many albums, same as the previous 3 decades.
Right.
But nobody knows anything from him. So he started out in 1973 with an album called Greetings from Asbury Park. Famous title, but I don't know that there's anything that I know on it.
Actually, Blinded by the Light was on it, I think?
Yes, which made
is
famous.
A big hit for Manfred Mann.
Right.
Manfred Mann actually did 3 songs written by Bruce Springsteen.
Really?
That's the only one they ever play on the radio.
Okay. Were the other 2
one
singles?
called For You, and I can't remember the other.
Okay.
I can't remember what the other one was called.
So, and I'll tell you what, listening to his older stuff to me is sort of like listening to Fleetwood Mac before Stevie Nicks.
Everybody says he's a good poet writer. He's written songs for other artists, like he did Fire. He put on from a live album, it was done by the Pointer Sisters first.
He's done 3 songs that were previously hits from other people.
But he wrote them.
He wrote them.
He wrote them.
Okay, so Fire, he wrote that for
He wrote that. Okay. And Pointer Sisters did it in 1978. It wasn't released till 1987.
He redid War, and he didn't write that one because that was
he didn't write
that was for the Temptations.
Yeah.
And then Trapped, which I like, was a reggae song by this guy named Jimmy Cliff. who's famous, but I probably couldn't tell you anything.
He wasn't in the 80s, maybe?
Yeah, and another thing Bruce Springsteen did, he was big on going on these things that were helping people, obviously. We Are the World. His voice sticks out in that song. But he also did another one, a song about the apartheid. Remember that one?
No.
Called Sun City.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And that
So
was
you had to remind me of it.
with his guitarist buddy, Steve Van Zandt, which, until Born in the
He was
U.S.
a producer
first. Until Born in the U.S.A. came out, I don't know if I could name anybody from the E Street Band. Then they played that, and you see them on the stage with Dancing in the Dark.
Glory Days.
Glory Days,
yeah.
you see him, obviously.
Because he's the one going back and forth with,
Right, with the weird
yeah.
voice, yeah. And then he's gotten famous through TV too. Bruce Springsteen has not had anything on TV or movies.
He was in Lilyhammer, which is one of Steve Van Zandt's shows.
And Steve Van Zandt was in Sopranos.
Sopranos, yeah. So
Because I don't know, he looks like a mobster, but I think they'd have to be a mobster. Maybe they do the Outcast side.
he didn't dress like he did in E Street Band. E Street Band, great. The reason they're called the E Street Band is because the keyboard player of the E Street Band, his mother let them play in her garage. And
They lived on East
she
Street.
She lived on E Street.
Gotcha.
So they named it.
Now, was everybody who was in his E Street Band the ones in the garage?
The E Street Band, they've had lots of members.
Okay.
They've had,
Okay.
it's kind of rotating. Probably.
Gotcha.
And they were Bruce Springsteen's backup band for 2 years before they got named.
Now, we would know Max Weinberg because of Modern Drummer.
Yeah, well, he was also on Conan O'Brien, I think, and
Yeah, he was somebody's two times late night with Conan O'Brien
Yeah.
and the Tonight Show with Conan
yeah,
O'Brien. Okay, so we would also know Clarence Clemens,
who passed away in 2001, I believe,
something like that, and he was famous for the saxophone.
or 2011. One of
And here's the thing: Bruce Springsteen's not every song has a saxophone player. Did he play something else? Because if you're up on the stage and that's all you play,
Yeah.
what are you doing when you're not on the song?
Well, I remember I talked about our dead player's band. He would maybe now they have a saxophone player.
Now they have a saxophone.
And they have one. I'm just saying we haven't talked about him, so now they're
Right.
added.
Yeah, and he had, believe it or not, he had his own hit
Yeah, I know.
with Jackson Brown.
Have you ever seen that video? They are standing way too close to each other.
Right. At least they don't look as uncomfortable as Meatloaf with John Parr.
No, when you watch that video, the one who's uncomfortable is you. I'm like, I was uncomfortable watching.
That's pretty much. And the other people that are famous in the band,
What's it called? You're a friend of mine, or something?
something like
Yeah.
that. I didn't watch it again, but yeah, like you said, who wants to watch it? That's their only hit, right?
Yeah,
His
and,
hit.
it's only
Jackson Brown, obviously.
It's his hit, but it was probably because of Jackson Brown, because Jackson Brown's the one who was
Right.
the.
Did he play the saxophone on that? Because he was vocalist in it. I don't remember.
He was. I think he had it.
Okay.
And Jackson Brown had the guitar. When they're facing each other, they both have their instruments.
Were they as close as David Bowie and Mick Jagger?
And they were pretty close.
Okay, and then last one from the band that's famous, Patti Scalia. And that's because she married Bruce Springsteen years after that.
Yeah.
Before
He was married to Julian Phillips first. I believe Julian Phillips is the one that's in the video at the beginning or at the end.
She's in a few
Glory
videos.
Days, when Bruce is pitching over a mound.
Yes.
And she pulls up in the car. I believe that's Julian
Right.
Phillips.
Yeah, she actually was in a couple. I don't know if she had any big parts, but she had a couple videos she was in. But more famously, he got married to a bandmate. I think they're still married. Or are they not?
I don't know. I
can't remember. Now, we mentioned last week that his nickname is the Boss. Do you know why?
Yeah, I read it. It's because he did everything for the band. He went to the manager, collected their paycheck, and handed it up. Yeah.
That makes him the boss. Now, you know what? Bruce Springsteen, he's never been in a movie.
Right.
But wouldn't it not be cool for him to have been in a movie where he was like the boss of the company? So somebody could specifically come in and say,
He's going to
"Hey,
be
boss."
he's going to be in a movie. It hasn't been released. It's probably going to be a direct to streaming. Is going to be with Bruce Willis.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's got a bit part in it.
He
And Bruce Willis, I thought, plays a guy named Bruce.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be a musician that has been a musician that people thought who committed suicide, but they say, "Oh, he's still alive." At first, I thought Bruce Willis was playing Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, but that's not the case.
Yeah, but like I said, he in that movie he ought to be the boss. So somebody could specifically come up and say, "Hey, boss."
Yeah.
Just make that line, and that's it.
So famously has 2 songs, starting with "Born." You know,
Born in the U.S. or
how many
Born to Run.
songs do you know that have the word "born" in it?
Yeah, there's not very many.
Yeah, well, you got "Born to Run" and "Born in the USA."
Yeah, that'd be more likely to be a movie title, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of Born movie titles. Born in the on the 4th of July.
Okay, so well, speaking of movie titles, okay, so Weird Al didn't do anything for Bruce.
No,
and
no.
he even tells he has online why he's never done it. Usually, an album comes out that Weird Al's putting out, Bruce doesn't have a hit at the time because it just never worked out. He said he met him once.
He really doesn't have any songs that.
But
what?
You know who does? Cheech Marin.
Oh, really?
Born in East LA. And that's born in East LA. Yeah, and the video became a movie. The movie was second.
Right.
The video was first. And it was about, he looks like he could be Mexican. The cops deport him.
Yeah.
And so then he's in Mexico trying to find his way back.
That was based off of Bruce Springsteen's.
Well, the song is sung in Born in the U.S.A.
I haven't seen that in a while, so.
Yeah, but it's funny because one of the lyrics in it is because he's in Mexico and then the Border Patrol shows up and he says, "And now I'm born to run."
So he's running. That's pretty good. Yeah, so he has some songs that he's covered from other people.
Right.
He's got War, Trapped, and Fire.
Right, but Fire again, he wrote that, so it's not really a cover. Well, it is a cover because
it is a cover because
he was putting out
original
first.
singers, right?
Yeah. So, but now, so we talked about him having 2 Born songs, but he also has 2 Fire songs, Fire and "I'm on Fire."
Right. And
that's his acting gig. He put himself in his videos. He's an actor. So he acted as a mechanic.
Yes,
And "I'm on Fire," and then. At the end, is he supposed to be the good guy? Because, look, he's bringing the car all the way to the woman. Yeah, there's an end game there.
and he was going to ring the doorbell and then he didn't and he leaves.
Oh, how would you feel, though, if a mechanic brought your car over and then left the keys where anybody can take them?
Well, that's the thing. Why didn't he press the button? He's like, let her find it herself.
Yeah. Hey, where's my car? I left it in your driveway, and the keys were in the bottom. It's gone.
And then was he a baseball pitcher? Is that why he showed up in Glory Days?
I don't know. Yeah, he does talk about pitcher, doesn't he? Talk about the pitcher in Glory Days, the lyrics about.
Yeah. Well, he talks about the past. It's funny when he said he met the guy and they're coming out and then they both went back in. He goes, he kept talking about will you quit talking about that or move on? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. I thought every time he goes over to the woman's house that he used to know in high school.
Right.
And they had a few drinks. Then he's in the bar, they're having a few drinks. I'm like, Bruce is an alcoholic.
Now, before Born in the U.S.A., if you look at right before Born in the U.S.A., he didn't have any hits on the previous album, Nebraska.
Right.
And then he supposedly had 2 hits on The River. I only know about Hungry Heart. Fade Away was 20, and I've never heard that before. Really, there's only 2 songs I really know before Born in the U.S.A. Born to Run and Hungry Heart, and that's it. And I would look at those 2 songs. I know you disagree based on...
Well, I've heard Rosalina, but only the live version. I don't know when that came out.
I don't remember.
Pink Cadillac, I know, but I probably didn't know it until after Born in the USA came
because
out.
It was the B-side of Dancing in the Dark. That's when it began.
Yeah. Pink Cadillac, when you listen to Pink Cadillac, it's got the sounds like Peter Gunn. Which also, we didn't talk about this, but Billy Squires' "Eye on You." When it goes down and you hear the guitar.
It's a lesser version, yeah. But so Pink Cadillac, it's actually probably not it's not a good song to listen to. But I didn't, you listen to it, you don't know that.
Yeah, and did Aretha Franklin buy it? because she was driving in on the freeway of love in a pink Cadillac. You know that song? She Aretha Franklin had?
Clint Eastwood bought it.
He was in his movie. Yeah.
But I like, out of those two songs that we do know, you like Born to Run better than Hungry Heart. And I'm the flip. I like Hungry Heart better than.
Okay.
I compare it to John Cougar, you know. Jack and Diane's the really popular one. That's Born to Run.
Oh, yeah.
And Hungry Heart's the lesser song. But it's the one you want to hear on the radio.
Because it's like, you never hear it.
Hurt So Good or Hand to Hold On To. Those are the songs I'd rather listen to. So that's why I like it, because it doesn't get played. I don't actually hear much from him on the radio. It probably only specifically Born in the U.S.A. songs, don't you think? Or Born to Run, maybe.
Yeah, you're right. Well, just a couple of them.
Yeah, but after that, do you hear anything else from Tunnel of Love or Lucky Town?
No.
Or what's the other one? Human Touch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Lucky Town and Human Touch came out at the same time?
Came out at the same time. Well,
same day. March 31st. He did that because he did it one day later, if you wouldn't believe it. April Fools.
Well, I heard that people were saying Tunnel of Love came out and he sold out because his songs changed to the fluff, right? Not the down to earth types. That's what I heard.
Yeah,
and he also didn't use the E Street Band, which is funny. That's similar to like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Literally has your name in the title, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. Use a new band. Why? Can you write the material? Can they not do what you just wrote? You need new musicians to tackle this. It's like Tom Petty. I know we're the Heartbreakers. I would do my own stuff. Your name is in our band name.
Why can't you just use them? Why not?
I don't get that, but yeah. So they figured he was selling out. Then he brought him back and put two out at once because I think he moved to Hollywood. People think we were selling out that way.
Yeah.
So different things like that. But after that, he had Streets of Philadelphia, which really is
movie soundtrack. Yep.
not a good. It's in the top 10, but I don't think it's that great of a song. It's probably only great because of the movie, which stars Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington. If it didn't star them, then that would have been a crapper for sure. But after that, I don't think you hear from him again.
Oh, he had another soundtrack song too. Was Jerry Maguire's Secret Garden.
Right.
I just remember it was on all the time when it wasn't. You never hear that song. But when it was on, I remember over and over, you kept hearing the movie clips. And you hear Renee Zellweger. Are you complete? Or whatever. Or no, she didn't say you complete. He said that. She said, you had me a hello. You kept hearing that in the song. I'm like, oh, this song sucks.
I don't know why they do.
You know why that song sucks?
Why?
It wasn't in the 80s.
I don't know why, Christian radio stations will do that. They'll play a song, and then you have callers who called in, and they'll play their voices.
Oh, yeah, I've heard
I heard that. I remember hearing that with when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
There would be specific songs on the radio, and you'd hear the testimonies.
Yeah, nobody's listening to your radio to hear the... They want to hear the song, not the callers.
And that reminds me, since I just mentioned 9/11, the song War is not allowed to play it on the radio. Once 9/11 happened, they won't let that song play on the radio ever again.
After 9/11, remember they banned any song that had bomb in it? And
something like that.
They did a lot of stuff.
So, not much to say afterwards. Once he did Jerry Maguire, he actually did 3 soundtracks in a row.
What was the other one?
He did The Crossing Guard with
The Crossing Guard.
Jack Nicholson.
I saw
it. Before that, he did Dead Man Walking with Sean Penn.
Okay.
But 3 in a row, and Jerry Maguire's the only one that was really on the radio. So, with that, let's get to the top 10.
Top 10.
Top 10! All right.
Go ahead and put the new board up.
Behind us, new board, and if you can't read it...
The Rising right here, put out basically because of 9/11. So, all the songs had to do with that.
And that, you know what? I forgot.
The theme album.
I actually forgot about this. So he, I was talking about We Are the World, right? And he did Sun City. You know what? I found out on We Are the World, he had Trapped.
Yeah.
Also on that CD was Trouble in Paradise with Huey Lewis. I think that's when they put that song.
Oh, because it was live.
Not the greatest hits, but that one.
Yeah, yeah.
So, goes back to our first video.
Not the intro video, the first band video.
Okay, so at the top 10, we only lose one song, your song. we agree on
Most of the time,
nine
okay.
songs, okay? And there's one we disagree, and that's because you rank... I think I rank the one you don't like higher than you rank the one I don't like. Okay.
Which one do you have on the top 10 and I don't?
I have Hungry Heart.
Okay, and what did I have? The Born to Run? Okay,
so, displaced. So, take your pick. Whichever one you like of the first two songs that he ever put out that people play, that's what our 10 is. So, Born to Run didn't make it, but Hungry Heart did. You had this one at 14. And I have this one at number 7. And with all the instruments, he's known for his guitar playing, and he got the saxophone. No, the middle is keyboards.
Yeah, but I like that guitar part. Right after they're in the middle part, and there's like Steve's like a fast guitar strumming.
Yeah. And that would be Steve Van Zandt, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, later in the career, I think Nils Lofgren replaced him, and I've heard that name before, but I couldn't tell you what he's in. Okay, so that was number 10. I believe that would be our earliest song out of Bruce Springsteen's from 1980. Okay, so the next one up would be what I just talked about, that We Are the World soundtrack. It's Trapped. I have this one at number 9. You have it at 8.
So, what were we talking about there? Were we talking about Hungry Heart at all?
Yes. Yeah, that was
the guitar part I was talking about was Born to Run.
Oh, okay.
Because Hungry Heart's list.
Yes. Yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm like, where's that at?
The guitar part I was talking about was Born to Run.
Yeah, that's right. You know what? And here's another. We talked about last week where people say guitar. Okay, one thing Born to Run does. 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the song. How do you have a countdown? Are they missing the beat? Hey, stay with me.
We had talked about
and then you lose it when you go in one note, and you have to have the count to get back because you're like, when do we go back?
We had just talked about on Aerosmith that he says guitar,
right?
And it was I just heard it yesterday, so it was What It Takes,
right? What I say was
yeah. So no, I don't think we mentioned what song it was. So it's What It Takes. So I heard it yesterday, and so I was talking to the guy I was working with about it, and then Def Leppard came on, but it was Rocket. He says that's when he says guitar, drums.
Oh yeah.
Because before when he says guitar, Steve, that's Pour Some Sugar on Me, right? So he says it, Def Leppard says it twice.
And you did say last week Def Leppard would be the one to say drums because he got his one arm. He said it. Okay, so number 9, Trapped from the We Are the World soundtrack, and it's I have it at 9. You have it at 8. Okay, one up. 2 songs from this album, from Tunnel of Love. This first one, Brilliant Disguise. I have this at number 10. You have it way up at number 5. I don't know if I put it that high. Yeah. It is in my top 10. Still think it's a lesser of the...
Brilliant Disguise. Is that just another version of Billy Joel's The Stranger? It's the same topic, really.
Is it?
Yeah. Because he's talking about somebody that's looking back at me. He's like, it's a stranger. Yeah. Is it you, baby, or is it some brilliant disguise?
Right.
So it's like kind of like the same topic.
I just think it's funny. This is where I go with this thing. I say when you're writing lyrics, and I've wrote lyrics before. You try to rhyme it all. At what point do you go? You're at the end of a word. And you go. You want to say disguise. One word, last 3 notes. I don't know. Do you write? Do you know when you wrote it?
No, you just put disguise, and then the body just has to know it's long.
No, I'm not saying you have to write it that way, but I mean, when you're writing it, do you know you're going to stretch out that?
Or if you make sheet music, you do have the dashes.
Right. Okay. Next one up. B. I didn't know what album to put it on because it wasn't really released as an album. It was on the B side. I guess eventually it became on the greatest hits. Pink Cadillac. Don't know if it's from Born in the USA. Don't know if it's from earlier. Who knows? It doesn't say. It just got released when I think it was Dancing in the Dark came out. So I have this at 8. You have it at 4.
Right.
Again.
What was the song we talked about? There was a band we were talking about the back of a Chevrolet. What was that? Who was that we were talking about?
Chevrolet. Oh, that was Night Ranger.
Night Ranger, yeah, that's right. He talks about the Subaru and the Honda in Pink Cadillac.
You know what's funny? It's funny. So he uses what in essence is the Peter Gunn theme.
Yeah.
Right? And the Peter Gunn theme is used in the Blues Brothers, right?
Yeah.
And that's known for its car too.
Right.
So it all has to be based off of a car. Whenever they show them driving that police car specifically, that's when they play the music. Right?
Famous car.
Okay, next one up. The first song we'll mention from Born in the USA. And that
was
would
a
be
Cadillac too, I think.
Was it?
I think it was a Cadillac. I think Dan Aykroyd mentions this.
I know nothing about cars. I wouldn't be able to.
No, but the Blues Brothers, I believe he says it's a Cadillac.
Okay. I just knew it was a former police car. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cover Me was the number 6 song I was about to mention.
Oh, sorry.
You have it.
Cover Me with a Brilliant Disguise.
Now you have this way down at number 10. Now, granted, he's got a lot of hits.
It's a short song. It's kind of like I'm on Fire. It's a short song.
Yeah. So it starts off with that neat guitar.
Also, one thing we didn't remember, we talked about I'm on Fire and Fire. Fire, the song is in Robin Williams' comedy special, where Robin Williams sings it. Bruce Springsteen.
Oh yeah.
In Elmer Fudd's voice.
Yeah.
Which is funny because there's a lot of R's in Elmer Fudd.
Was that the special?
He does W's instead of R's.
Was that the special we watched when he had Howie Mandel and Whoopi Goldberg and him?
No, that was Comic Relief.
Oh, okay.
This was
because I remember that, and I don't remember when he did it, but I remember
this was his own special.
Okay, that was. Gonna say something, it won't be good. All right, so Cover Me, you have a 10. I have this as my second favorite song, partly because it doesn't get played. Right. All right, so next one up would be from the second song from Tunnel of Love. That would be the self-title, Tunnel of Love. I have this at 5. You have it at 6. And what's interesting is I think when you really listen to them, Human Touch, Tunnel of Love, Brilliant Disguise. You could even throw Better Days in there. Better Days the Lesser. Those 4 have. They might have used the same band. Those have pretty much similar sound.
It's got that weird intro.
Yeah, it does. I just listened to them like,
and then it stops. It's like.
Okay, so I'm listening to it at work, right? It's on YouTube, and that intro came on.
I thought you had the wrong song.
I ran over thinking I needed to skip a YouTube ad.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, oh, that's the song. Okay. All right, so 5, Tunnel of Love.
And when you hear that song, do you think of where they have like those
carnivals?
Carnival. I'm trying to
boat going into the thing. Yeah, something like that. All right. Next one up, number 4, Human Touch. I have this at 3. You have it at 7. And if there's one part of the video I like, it's where they're showing the story, and then they get back to Bruce, who seems like he's under a tunnel or a bridge or something, and then suddenly he's like, suddenly he's moving all sorts of arms off. Just here's my guitar. I don't know why he does that. It's like showing off or something. Okay, but I like it. Next one up. And the top 3 songs all come from Born in the USA.
Of course they do.
Yeah. And I'm not actually surprised because Born in the USA is the 3rd song. And the lyrics are not what everybody thinks it is. You played that on the 4th of July.
Right. You think, I'm proud to be American. That's not what he's talking about.
No, it's actually more like war. It's a protest.
Well, he's just talking about how Vietnam veterans are treated poorly in this country.
It's like it's like Van Halen's Jump or Janie's Got a Gun. It's like, crank it! Do you listen to the lyrics? All right, you have this one at number 3. I have it at number 6. Okay, next one up would be Glory Days. You have this as your second favorite song. I have it at number 4. I think 2 things that stand out. The start, dun, 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 everybody loves that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
as drummers, is probably the second part you're thinking of.
Well, in the middle, when I can't follow it. Can you follow it? When he goes, he's like all over the place.
Oh no, I thought you were saying because we're drummers. I thought we always liked in the video. Duh, duh, duh. Woo!
I was thinking that actually. How many songs where you get the singer going woo? And I'm thinking, well, actually. Dua Lipa in her levitating song has the background singers.
Okay, but it's what if he threw the drumstick and didn't have it in his hand?
That's the time you would throw the stick, right?
You it's not in my hand in time to make the crash.
Yeah, that would not in concert. You don't throw the stick in concert.
Yeah.
You have a second one nearby.
Yeah, the video obviously, even if he missed it, the timing they could edit it to where
they redo it.
Yeah, because
okay. So that puts us at number 1, which we both agree with again. So that brings us to our number 1 song, and it's obvious what we left out. That would be
Dancing in the Dark,
which we both agree is number 1.
Yeah, nice. It's a difference in quality. I used to tell you, I listen to the older ones, and when the Bird CD I have starts with like Rosalita, then Born to Run. What else I got? I got Pink Cadillac.
Okay.
But I get to Dancing in the Dark is such a difference in quality. It's like they crank up the quality. Yeah. Even in difference than the other songs on the album.
Well, I was telling you that I mentioned Professor Rock several times on this. He did a little segment on Dancing in the Dark. And apparently the producers were telling him, when they were listening to the whole of Born in the U.S.A., you don't really have a dominant hit yet. It's like, what? 7 hits, they all were in the top 10. You're telling Bruce Springsteen he doesn't have a hit yet?
Well, no, they could tell Bruce Springsteen that because he didn't have too many hits at that time.
That's true. And so now he has 7. once he did that, you told me anything. But yeah, so then he put that one out. But I'm thinking, Born in the USA, all you can think of.
Yeah.
Like, that's a strong drum. Considering it's coming from Max Weinberg. Didn't he have glasses and all that? Yeah. Nerd playing the drums. Playing a strong song, right? But, yeah, so he said, you don't have a hit, and then he put that one out. Of course, obviously, it was their best hit. The video famous for
Courtney Cox, beginning of her career, pretty much. Brought up stage with dance.
Would that have been planned? Was that planned?
Probably. I'm thinking she was. Yeah, you think she was just a stranger?
She became famous because they pulled her out of the crowd. That'd be really a good story.
Yeah.
But yeah, she had short hair back then.
Yeah, she did. Before, was Ace Ventura before Friends? I think it was.
Yes.
So this was before Ace Ventura.
Actually, no, it might have been during.
Okay.
But it was definitely before Friends. Before she really even had anything big.
Right. Also, now, I don't know if you remember this, but same year, Dancing in the Dark, there was another song that was going to be called Dancing in the Dark. Peter Wolf of Jay Gall's band changed because of Bruce Springsteen, changed the title of his song to Lights Out.
Because he actually had Dancing in the Dark in the...
Yeah, but he says at the beginning of the song, Lights Out. So he says that several times, so they're like...
And what's funny is, I wonder if he also changed the album title because the album's called Lights Out.
Okay.
Right? So you would think. That's how much clout.
But he was going to call it Dancing in the Dark.
That's funny. I forgot about that. Yeah. Now, I forgot to mention this. We got several things.
We're getting senile in our old age.
Look at the board behind us. You notice I have Human Touch / Lucky Town. So he put that out same year. You mentioned he put it out.
92, I believe it was.
Day before, yes. But was it one day apart or something?
No, same day.
Oh, same day? Okay.
Same day.
So, and then
I remember them being at the store.
And then he actually interchanges. He put out a song for this one, then he put a song for that one, go back and forth.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Human Touch had the hits.
I mean, Lucky Town did have, what, Better Days.
And there are artists that have done that since even.
Did Garth Brooks do that?
Might have.
I think because Garth Brooks put out a CD with himself, and also with his alter ego, same year. I can't remember.
Nelly, I believe, did it. Didn't
Nelly.
he have one called Suits and one called Sweats? I hope it's Nelly and no, that's 50 Cent. Oh, wow. Bruce Springsteen. This should have been in our history, and it wasn't. He did halftime Super Bowl for 2009.
Okay.
Okay, we just talked about.
I don't remember him.
We just talked about Aerosmith doing a halftime Super Bowl in 2001. Okay, you know who was? I don't know why we didn't mention this last week. You know who was? Because he wasn't the only band that year. Aerosmith wasn't the only band.
No, he had Britney Spears
and Mary J. Blige, who just was
with Aerosmith.
With Aerosmith, she was on there.
I don't remember. Well, I watched the thing. I don't remember her in it.
It said on the internet she was on it. And the internet, you can always trust.
Did she do maybe the Star Spangled Banner?
No idea. Okay. No idea. It's a halftime show. So.
Okay. All right. She was not pushed into the forefront. That's for sure. Or everyone said, "Who's that?" But so who was Bruce Springsteen with anybody else or
no? He was by himself.
By himself.
Well, probably the E Street Band, I would assume.
And you're today you're gonna tell us that crap that was on was better than Bruce Springsteen. I mean, could you even get an artist as big as Bruce? I mean, honestly, you got some artists that are big, but I think most of the artists don't even want to.
Most people probably say Prince.
Most artists don't, but
say.
Most artists today don't even want to do the halftime show. They're supposed to be, they don't get paid for that, right? Most of them probably don't get paid for it. Maybe. Do you remember the band's name for next week?
Yes, I think so.
Who is it?
You just want me to blurt out who it is? Oh my God! You forgot to remind me we were doing a skit. No, it isn't the Who.
Okay. You're trying to do something funny, but it was gonna bomb regardless of what you did. Pretty sure of that. But next
go ahead
week,
and tell them who it is so I can do the explosion.
Next week we're doing a band called Yes.
No. Oh yes.
See, it bombed.
That might joke.
That's why you're exploding.
Yeah, we should have made a script and we didn't.
All right, we didn't. That's all right. Who's on first? If we do the Who, it's gonna be way beyond. And it's gonna be because Pete Townsend had hits in the '80s, right?
Yes. Yes.
But next week it's Yes.
Until then, bye.
Bye.